My name is Catherine Blazer. I work with REI Live Sarasota and Investor Quarters. I am so excited to have Davidson with us today. And Roof Remax, as we all know, roofs are one of the larger expenses on a rehab project, and he's got some really cool ways that I can't wait to learn about on how to extend the life of your roof without having to replace it. So with that, I will let you take it away, Davidson.
Catherine, you're as good as the lady that just interviewed me on ABC News. You have that excitement and that understanding, so thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Davidson Lunger, and I am the dealer for the Roof Maxx dealership here in the greater Sarasota, Manatee areas. And what Roof Maxx is, I'm going to start real quickly, and then we're going to go through a short video, if I may. But Roof Maxx is the first all natural 100% soybean product that actually goes in and revitalizes and returns the hydration to asphalt shingle roofs through a patented methyl ester technology. So simply put, we return the essential oils to old, dried, worn out, functionally obsolescent asphalt roofs where the petroleum is simply dried out over the years from the thermal shock, from that intense heat that a roof goes through every day, from 160, 170 degrees down to as little as 50 degrees. And so just over time, roofs started to be produced very inexpensively, starting in the 90s when Congress limited the amount of petroleum that could go into the manufacture. And roofs were just made cheaper, and they were filled with crushed limestone to heavy them up. And the amount of petroleum, which was its essential oil, was limited in the manufacturing and the production. So what used to be our father or our granddad's roof is no longer a lifetime roof or a 30-year roof. Honestly, we're seeing most roofs in the tropical climates like we have here in Western Florida starting to decompose if you're about age 8, and by about age 12, roofs are pretty well shot. And the only option we've had in the past has been sealants. And this is where folks would come along, they'd actually paint a roof with any number of different products. But by sealing a roof, you encapsulate it, and you actually hinder its ability to expand and contract with heat contractions. So the sealants, while they might look nice, actually didn't do anything for the roof. They encapsulated it, the roof would crack, and utilities would actually be higher, excuse me, as a result of them not being able to breathe naturally. So having said that, we are a 700 dealer network across the United States and now in Europe. We are the fastest growing home improvement company in America. We were just featured by Forbes PBS mini-series, Inc. magazine, ABC News, and we were publicly endorsed by the American Society of Home Inspectors. This is a great endorsement because the American Society of Home Inspectors, about 50% of their inspectors are also roof inspectors for insurance companies and for different property management firms, for example. So what I'd like to do is, Catherine, could I have you show the presentation film? It's about 4 minutes for everybody, but I think it really helps everybody get on track. And it's a real live example of a property management company that owns properties from New Jersey down to Florida, as well as a quick demonstration of the product.
Yes, give me 1 second.
Thank you so much.
Is it a white screen, or is it, can you guys actually see my?
Not coming up yet.
Okay, hold on. Let me try one more time. There we go. Okay.
Great.
There is never a good on your roof. Temperatures can climb to over 140 degrees, causing the roof to expand. Passing rain showers quickly cool the roof, creating rapid contraction, known as thermal shock. Your asphalt roof must remain flexible to withstand these extreme stresses. Oil within the asphalt allows for this flexibility. Depending on region, a roof begins breaking down between 7 and 10 years of age because the oil begins drying out of the asphalt, causing the roof to become increasingly brittle over time. With loss of flexibility, it starts to crack and begins slowly breaking apart, the same way cracks eventually turn into a pothole in an asphalt road. Roof Maxx is a 100% safe, all-natural food-grade oil. The spray-applied treatment quickly penetrates roof shingles, restoring flexibility and waterproofing protection. Each treatment is guaranteed to last 5 years and comes with a transferable warranty. And because Roof Maxx treatments are repeatable, a roof can be greatly extended past its expected life. Treatment is quick, clean, and very affordable.
My name is Jonathan Casilli. I'm the Director of Construction at Novel Property Ventures. We have properties from New York all the way down to Florida. I've been in the industry for 10 years. Here at Everly Roseland, it's a high-end, fully amenitized garden-style apartment complex where there are 30 buildings and 360 apartments. The roofs and the shingles are 30 years old. They're in very poor condition. They're very dry and brittle, and we've seen a lot of granule loss, where we've noticed a lot of granules in the gutters and at the bottoms of the downspouts. When we bought the property, we looked at replacing all of the roofs, and pricing came back at $1.14 million. Upon receiving the pricing for replacements of the roofs, we realized that we did not have the budget for the scope of work. I was introduced to Roof Maxx by a roofer that I've known for many years. I was skeptical because it did seem like it is a new technology. It wasn't proven, and I was uncertain because we have a large property here. I didn't want to commit fully to doing a substantial amount of roofs without testing the product. So I picked the worst roof that we have on the property, where we've had leaks and we've also had shingles blow off the roof in high wind situations and rainstorms. So we tested it out on that roof in April. In June, we had significant rainstorms and windstorms. The building where we applied the Roof Maxx product suffered no shingle displacement or leaks, whereas the other buildings around our property that were not treated had shingles blow off and there were leaks during that season. So at that point, I realized that there's something to this product, and this could work for the rest of my property. So I committed to do the treatment on another 14 roofs in August of 2018. During the October storms, our treated buildings withstood the windstorms and the rainstorms, whereas the rest of our property continued to have issues with leaks and roof shingles being blown off the roofs during storms. After the October storm, the savings from the treatment of the Roof Maxx product is immense. We did not have to go back to the 15 buildings that we put the treatment on and repair or replace shingles. We're so impressed with the Roof Maxx product, we've committed to doing the rest of the 15 roofs in spring of 2019. My general impression of the Roof Maxx product and the application process is amazement, really. Typically, a roof replacement project of this magnitude will go on for many, many months, and all of the tenants around the property will be negatively affected by that process. But the Roof Maxx product and application process was seamless and did not bother any tenants around the property. Roof Maxx was a fraction of the cost of the $1.14 million replacement estimate. Up until now, roof replacement has been our only option. Roof Maxx is the perfect alternative. I was really amazed at the fact that the Roof Maxx product restored 30-year-old shingles. I would recommend Roof Maxx to property managers, condo associations, because it's a fraction of the cost, it's tenant friendly.
That was awesome. Davidson, I think you're muted. So if you see on the bottom next to the camera button on the left, there's the microphone.
It's going in and out. I apologize.
Oh, I can hear you now. There we go.
Yeah, it's going in and out on itself. But anyway, thank you so much. That was great. We got the lion's share of that. So first of all, I would like to thank everybody, Mark and Paul and Catherine and Miranda, for allowing me to speak to you. I had the opportunity of doing one of Mark's properties, and we did Paul's personal residence. I think both have been very pleased with what we did. What I'd like to tell everybody is just go over a few things that we're not. I want to make sure everybody understands the product, and then I'll go over some more ideas and questions if we have time. The product will not band a house. If the house was not done to the Miami-Dade wind standards, where most roofs were not done before 2004, we can't get a roof back hurricane proof, if you will. But most of the roofs we do were built after 2004 anyway. We've done over 100 in the market in the last 6.5 months since we began. Most roofs are in the 12 to 17 to 20-year-old range. The oldest roof that we've done is a 31-year-old roof, but that's the exception. That's not the norm. We find that about 2 out of every 10 roofs that we inspect in a complimentary inspection are just too far gone. If a roof is buckled, or if the installation quality is not good, or the roof's been patched in several places, it may not be a candidate for us. But what I offer, we're very big with realtors and flippers and insurance companies and property management companies. We'll do a complimentary analysis and tell you whether we can do the roof or not. Our cost is about just under $1 a square foot, and the average asphalt roof comes in around $4.50 a square foot in our marketplace here. So we're about 1/20th the cost. Now, Berkshire Hathaway is the underwriter for the product. We are not allowed to say that our warranty will go beyond 5 years, because quite honestly, we haven't been on roofs 5 years. We've been on roofs 3 years. We went through the most stringent testing at Battelle Labs, the preeminent testing labs in the country, under the toughest of conditions, simulated 15 years worth. And quite simply, the oil does not evaporate like asphalt. The roofs look just like they did. We can go back on 3-year-old roofs and they look as though we just treated them. But should a roof need another treatment after 5 years, we take roofs out as many as 3 treatments, 15 years past the point that we get to them, should they need additional treatments. I hope they do, because that keeps me in the service business. I get to go back every 5 years, but I think I'm going to be the Maytag repairman. There's nothing to indicate that the roofs are going to have to be done as little as 5 years. Now, what I also want to mention is that, you know, we can't waterproof a roof in the literal sense. 99% of all water leakage in roofs comes from bad caulking. It comes from areas that have just expansion and contraction has dried out the joints. When we do a roof, we do what's called a roof tune-up, and while we're not licensed roofers, we do caulking around flashing. We'll reset any loose nails and re-caulk them. We'll do any roof repairs with Flex Seal or caulking that need to be done. And then if there's areas that need attention by a licensed roofer, our photos, we do 20 to 25 on a complimentary roof inspection. We send those to you and to everybody, and they decide what they want to do, and then they have a record going forward. Also, for property managers, it's wonderful because you can go back and offer a solution to your customers for the first time to save them money. Hey, we have somebody that will go out and grade your roof and tell you the life expectancy of the roof and what they can do for a fifth the cost of replacement. So we know that air conditioners are going to be requested in house sales and in by owners. We know that roofs and AC systems together are the 2 most expensive things that we can do on a property. So it's a wonderful opportunity to have us look for you, and we can do a satellite inspection very quickly and give you an idea of what the treatment would cost if there's not time for us to physically get out before a buying decision is made, for example. So it's just a wonderful product. You see the product start to regain its original color. We're not a colorant, but when you hydrate the roof, it's like putting moisturizer on your skin. it just lasts. It doesn't evaporate. So the curb appeal is great. We save transactions all the time for real estate agents. I just did the president of the Sarasota Manatees, the president of the Realtors Association did his own home. We just saved a transaction last week for another agent where the seller would not and could not, frankly, replace the roof. They didn't have the funds. The buyer got a 5-year transferable warranty. They went out and vetted us, looked at RoofMax, MAXX.com, and they were satisfied to go forward with the transaction because they at least had a warranty that it was not going to leak. The shingles themselves will be restored back to their original condition, even though they have granule loss. And I'd like to speak to that real quickly. The granules are the UV protection on roofs, and those granules are what we see come off in the gutters, come off in the perimeter of the house as the essential oil dries out. But what we can do is when we reseal and rehydrate and return the functionality and pliability to the asphalt roof, we arrest the extensive loss of those granules. We can't stop the granule loss, but we can greatly retard it after we rehydrate. So just a wonderful, wonderful product for flippers, for homeowners, property managers, realtors, churches, businesses, just a fantastic product. We can't treat tile, we can't treat metal, it's not porous, so unfortunately we can't do those, but 85% of the houses are asphalt. So I think with that, I would just simply say we're green, we're 100% safe for people, plants, animals, and the environment. 15% of all landfills are filled with roofing material. We're very proud that we can keep this material out of the landfills and that we also offer a financially rewarding alternative to roof replacement. So with that, I'm going to see if somebody might have questions or whether you can take them in this forum, Kathy.
Yeah, definitely. I have a question though. So what is your process and how quickly, so I guess it's like a 3-part question. What's your process? I know that you offer a free consultation to go out and check out the house and see if it's a good solution for it. And then how far out is that process? How far out is the actual treatment, and how long does the treatment take?
Okay, thanks. All great questions. To have an opportunity to be in front of Mark and Paul's group, I'm a 911 operator. We will get out for you folks. I say give us up to 2 days to go out and inspect. Normally we'd be about 5 days behind, but for folks associated with this fine group, we could usually do it in 2 days, weather permitting. And at a minimum, within a couple hours, I can give a satellite report saying you got this many square feet of treatable roof area, which includes the perimeter, the diameter, the garage. And I can tell from at least a photo that may be as much as a year old on Google. That's what all the satellite technology uses, that you've got a heavy tree canopy, or you may not, or you need to be cleaned, or you don't. And we'll talk about cleaning if we have time. But going back to it, we can turn that report around just as quickly as folks need to. Basically, I have 2 full-time techs that can do that. And as far as scheduling treatment, we're about 7 to 10 days out in treatments. We're averaging about 2 to 3 properties a day. We're working 6, 7 days a week, especially with the storms coming with this stormy kind of area. But you know, if somebody here needs it done, we'll get it done. We'll switch somebody out and we'll get it done. Time on the roof, we get there by the time we do the roof tune-up, which is usually a half hour, 45 minutes max. By the time we treat, it's probably an hour and a half total time. The cost is in the product. It's not in the treatment. We're all certainly trained and vetted, and there's a lot of training to do this and understanding the product, but it doesn't take time to do a lot. The other thing we offer at no cost to this group is we will spray all of the vent pipes and all the stacks with a good looking color that looks like new stacks. If they've been painted, they'll be faded and just don't look good. So we'll do that too as part of the roof tune-up, which really gives good curb appeal, if you will. So do we have time for me to explain the cleaning part? Are we okay?
Yeah.
Okay, real quickly, RoofMax in and of itself, when we go in and the oil goes into the fiberglass base of the shingle and works its way out of the shingle, it will purge the bacteria and the mold and the algae growth that we get on the roofs down in this tropical climate. Now, what happens is we push it out, but it takes several months for rains to wash away that bacteria. Now, when you can wait to have that happen naturally, we always recommend it, because anytime you're not using chemicals, phosphates, chlorines, and pressure on your roof, you're not drying any more oil than you should. And pressure washing is the kiss of death for a roof. It knocks those precious granules off, particularly as it gets older. So if something has to be cleaned right away, I do have a subcontractor that uses a chemical phosphate-free soft wash. I supply the chemicals at my cost. I say chemical, it's all natural, but we do not do the pressure washing portion. So for those property owners that have a good handyman, once he understands and talks with me or she, not that the pressure has to be just wand on a very low pressure rinse, I can provide them with the chemicals at my cost. So it's very inexpensive. It's $25 an average roof. There's big markup. The other thing is when you use chlorines to clean roofs, which most roof washers do, the chlorine will ruin the ability of the termite treatment. It absolutely negates the termite treatment. So people don't usually know this down here, but we don't want that chlorine going into gutters and getting down on plants and in the ground, because if you've treated for termites or you treat in the future, it may not be effective because of that chlorine. So just important things to keep in mind. And if others out there want to do their roofs and maybe do a Roof Maxx treatment later, I'd recommend one product only. It's called Spray and Forget. You can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's all natural phosphate, chemical free. You spray it on, and about 3 to 5 rains later, all that bacteria will come off.
Wow.
And we can come back and clean after we've treated it. Will not hurt the Roof Maxx treatment. So if somebody says, let's wait and see what happens, and then, you know, a few months down the road, or they have a homeowners association that says we want to get the bacteria off now and the growth, then we can go out and treat, or we can have it treated. It won't hurt what we've done. But I always let everybody say, hey, try and wait and see, because then you don't have another cost for treatment if our product gets it out in your time frame.
Okay. So are there any requirements or warnings about treatment and then rains, with us getting closer to the rainy season?
You're sharp. You've done your homework. No, we wait till the dew dries in the morning, just because it won't hurt our treatment, but we want to be able to see our patterns and make sure everything's been treated properly. But it can rain 10 minutes after we spray a roof, and literally there's no problem. It does not rinse it off. So I like to put 24 hours between a cleaning and treatment, just because I want to make sure we get, you know, everything off that we can. But no, we're running all the time to get a roof treated, knowing we have afternoon rains coming in.
Okay.
It's just not an issue. We won't treat in the rain. We don't treat in the rain.
Well, that's good. I mean, being on a roof in a thunderstorm isn't.
Exactly. I worry about my technicians. Exactly.
We like to keep it.
And you know, our technicians wear special boots that don't knock the granules off. They're a very expensive boot that's granular friendly, if you will. But if you're going to have work done, you're going to have any roofing done at all, we like to be the first treatment, because then when people get up and clomp around in their boots, they're not tearing those granules off after a Roof Maxx treatment. So we have no competition. The only competition we have is education, just getting the news out to folks. So
Absolutely. I didn't know that there was anything like this at all. So.
Well, I quickly give a little background. It might help with people. I own 19 RE/MAX companies in Washington. I have the #1 RE/MAX companies in the world. I brought helped bring RE/MAX back from Colorado back in the 70s. I was also sheriff's deputy with sheriff's office for 25 years simultaneously. So I've done a little bit of everything. When I saw this product, I had just moved to Sarasota. I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen anything like it. It's not just another paint or just another cleaner. This is a whole paradigm shift. And if anybody goes out and looks at Forbes magazine and you see their explanation of how this has changed the industry, half of our 700 dealers are roofers by trade that have converted over. They still do roofing, but most of the time they can save a roof for 3 to 5 years if somebody can't afford it or doesn't need a roof yet, or up to 15 years if we catch it in time.
Wow, that's amazing. So you have a question. If you have a clean roof that's only 7 years old, what's the best way to clean dirty soffits near the roof?
Okay, here's my explanation, and it's not green, but 30-second miracle is the best thing we've ever seen. You get it also just at any of the stores. It's called 30-second miracle, and it is, in my experience, has not hurt plants. You know, you spray it on, you don't even rinse it off. And so when you don't rinse it off, it's not dripping down in heavy amounts, but it's just, as I recall, a 50-50 spray. And we do it as a thank you for some people and put it in a spray bottle and do it, but it's really effective. And mold armor is also a very effective cleaner for you know, the soffits and for the gutters. Our product will not do that. That you normally on metal do need chlorine, unfortunately, to get it done.
Yeah. Can you talk us through the pricing one more time and how often the treatment needs to be done down here?
Sure. We are just, I say just under $1 a square foot. And what I'm saying is we're in the late 90-cent mark per square foot of roof area, not 100 square feet that roofers tend to talk in. We are $1, or just say $1 a square foot, and replacement would be about $4.50 for entry level roof. You can get them done a little cheaper. You can certainly pay more for them, but about 20th the cost. And so let's take a 2,000 square foot house. We're looking at about $1,775 to $1,850 in that area. I could round it up and say it's going to be $2,000, but usually if we go out and treat after doing an internet inspection, for example, I can save folks a little bit of money because we didn't have a second service visit. You know, I'm all about repeat referral business, so I want to earn your business, and I'll get the pricing down when I can. Square footage is very important to us because we're like any other service person. The more square footage, the more competitive we can be. We did a 49,000 square foot office building. We can get the price down. We just did 2 apartment buildings in Northport. We could get the pricing down. If we get a neighbor or 2 or 3 houses in a neighborhood, which we do quite often. We've just done 9 houses in University Place in Sarasota. Obviously, we can help the homeowners if we're there and we're not coming back each day. If we can knock out 2 or 3 houses in a trip, then it helps everybody.
Absolutely. So let's talk service areas. So
Okay.
where all do you cover?
I am basically Sarasota County, if from Venice up to Tampa Bay. That's my dealership area. But by referral or by request, I can go anywhere if it makes geological sense for us. It's just I don't advertise in my southern dealers area or up into Tampa because they're not our core markets. I do find myself do quite a bit of work down in the Venice area by repeat referral. But you know, our sweet spot, if you would be from Clark Road up to Tampa Bay out to Lakewood Ranch. That's just kind of the parish and on out. So we're all over. We're all over.
And is the best way to contact you that 941 number behind you?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And since you're a lovely spokesman, they can call you too. That'd be great. But no, that's the best number. And if anybody wants to learn more, if you just go to roofmaxx.com, roofmaxx, M-A-X-X again.com. There's a number of videos and things we can go over, but I want to earn everybody's business. And I want to earn your trust. So give me a chance. And I have plenty of 5-star reviews and I have plenty of references available for anybody.
You absolutely do. I got to Google you for your background and everything.
Oh, great.
So there is so much amazing stuff out there about you guys, and the videos are so helpful because when I was first reading about it, and it's the girl in me, I know, but I was thinking of like the exfoliant face brush coming off and what you were saying, and then putting in like lotion for a bad sunburn.
Right.
That's what I related it to. So I'm glad that we got to explain it a little bit more and I got to understand exactly what's happening.
Oh, it's fun. And such key people and nice people like Mark and Paul, Catherine, Miranda. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Is there anything else that we should know or you'd like takeaways?
You know, I think the big thing to remember is that we're not a sealer. This is a hydration process. We can put lipstick on a pig, but not too heavily. If the roof is buckling or if it's curling, then I'd be wasting your money. The roof has to be laying properly. It can be dry, brittle. It can have 50% of its granules gone. We can still treat in most cases. You know, it can't work miracles. You can't have a lot of patches in a roof that's just shot. And we have to also remember that, you know, until the entire marketplace understands and does this, and the insurance companies have fully come on board with us and vetted us, we're doing a lot of insurance work, but you know, they're going to require replacement if the roof looks bad and if it's done. So people that are doing maintenance, they want to cut their expenses. They have a 5-year plus timeline, or you know, if the roof is caught in time, we can treat it and do the warranty, and we have great success with the buyers. So I think those are the biggest takeaways. And again, you know, I'm not going to warranty a roof if I can't stand behind it. So it's important that we work with a good roof to begin with. And the other thing I would say is I'd be wasting your money if you do a roof before about 8 years. Some 8-year-old roofs, like the northwest exposure, can be bad where the sun's just brutal or they're close to the water. But usually a roof's pretty in good shape up to about 7 or 8 years. Literally after 8 years, I'd urge everybody to look at this, because that roof will end up being lost at 12 to 14 years. If we treat an 8-year-old roof, we're going to go into 20, 25, 30 years. And it's very inexpensive if you look at it just like an insurance policy. You know, would you spend $150 a year to make your roof last? Sure. And we will help folks. If you're on a tight budget and you've got your folks acquiring property, if it really is a tight budget and you need to wait a little bit, we'll do a 50% paid upon treatment in 6 level payments with no interest. So sometimes till you get through a settlement, or you want to get to settlement, or you want to get past loan approval or whatever, or you have an option to work on a house before you settle, whatever. There's a lot of circumstances that can help. Fortunately, I bring the real estate background into this. I was a licensed home inspector for many, many years back in Virginia. So, you know, I get it. I'm not a roofer, never want to say I'm a roofer, but I get it. And, you know, I own a lot of property. I manage a lot of property. So
that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today and share this and educate us. So I really appreciate it.
I should hope to meet some folks, and thank you so much.